Hello and welcome back to the Mobile Suit Technician. Glad to have you back. Today we're going to be doing the real grade Zeta Gundam. Some people have claimed that this is one of the worst real grades ever to be made. Today I'm setting out to try to prove that you can make any Gunpla better, or at the very least posable, even if you have to glue the thing. Kind of giving you a look at the box. I'd like to kind of give you guys the experience of what it's like to start off with one of these kits, especially if you had your eye on something, just kind of want to get the whole experience. Some cool box art. This is the transforming one, so you can turn it into the core fighter. Just the parts trees here, a lot less than our last build with the Master Grade Zabi. Thank God, kind of need a break after that one. At the instruction book, kind of see what we're getting into. I am planning on weathering this build, so this is going to be my first build where I really attempt to do some weathering. Been doing some research and kind of getting a sense of when I want to start weathering some parts, if I want to build like an arm and a leg and weather them and then assemble, or if I want to do the whole thing and then assemble. Going to be a first time for me. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Might be awesome, might not be. But the whole point of all this is just to try and get better. So I might totally mess up this Gunpla, but hopefully it'll come out to something cool. Also see our water slide decals for this build. Still quite a few. And I am going to be using an action base for the first time finally. Try to get some cool poses with this guy. Starting off with the legs. Trying to edit a little less to not make my videos super long, so you have to watch each thing made. I'm just going to make one leg and then do another off camera, and I'll do the same for the arms. Try to expedite the process and give you guys just the supercuts. Doing something a little bit different here. Like when I did this as Zabi Master Grade, I'd basically make a certain amount of parts assembled and then I would clear coat them because there was just so much detail and intricacy. This one, not so much, so I'm thinking I'm just going to build an entire assembly this time, like a leg, and then do the clear coating. My idea is that I'm going to do a flat clear and then I'm going to do the decals, flat clear over that, and then I'll do my weathering on top of that. And I'll probably do some test pieces and maybe do a third layer of clear, like a very thin layer, just to lock it in, because I am going to be doing some dry brush techniques and maybe even some penciling, and I don't want that stuff to rub off. There have been some gripes about this kit concerning the flexibility of some of the joints. It is a little weird how some of this stuff goes together. One of the gripes about this kit was that posability as far as the joints were a little complex and just over-engineered. I can definitely see where those comments are coming from. It's not too crazy, but it is a little bit weird. Putting it together, I did have a couple steps where I wasn't sure how something was quite supposed to go together. But once I kind of figured it out, it was really easy to do on the second leg, and I did appreciate how all those moving parts work together. Definitely different from other high-grade kits that I have done. I haven't done many, but the ones that I have done, it's not too far off. You will also see me using some plastic cement on certain areas where I know that the fitment is kind of weak and I could see an issue. Try to put some glue on there so that way if this thing were to fall over from its stand, it's not going to shatter into 100 pieces, and also when I'm posing it's not going to come apart. I can definitely see how that would be frustrating, and that may be why this kit got such a bad rap. Have to say though, even though it being a real grade, the detail is there. It's still just as beautiful. If I were to do a... Though this isn't a master grade, the detail still is there. Definitely can appreciate the engineering that went behind it. Got a couple areas that are multi-layered that add to the detail. You can see I'm going over with my Tamiya black panel liner. Gonna again use the technique with my thumb just to rub it off perpendicular to the lines. The cool thing about this kit is that there definitely are a lot of panel lines. So doing this is going to stand out quite a bit more, especially because it's a white background, but there's just so many little detailed lines in there. Get really appreciated, and it's also going to help our weathering out. So if I make a mistake or I don't do enough weathering or too much weathering, hopefully some of these contour lines can help contrast my bad craftsmanship. So that was extremely infuriating. The problem that I was having was a part that holds the eyes in place. It was not seated properly, and I couldn't get these little parts right here, I don't know if you can see that, to come out correctly. So I had to reseat the part. I used my tip of this glass file here, turned it sideways, and I pressed against where the eyes were to make them seat properly. That was this step right here for the head, getting that A23 and A13 piece to meet up well. Finally continue the build now. That was infuriating. So we're coming up to another point of another thing that I honestly didn't like. The mounting of these legs is just absolutely atrocious. It's not your traditional pillow ball socket. It's just a peg that is a friction fit through a hole. and there are clips that are supposed to hold them in place. They were kind of difficult to get on. One of them flew across the room. Luckily, I was able to find it. But I do recommend gluing those clips in. See me putting them in here and then gluing them down. That allowed the legs to stay in, but it is an extremely weak mounting position. And if you were to torque these legs just right, you are going to absolutely snap the bracket that they adhere to. Alright, so finishing up the body, I am going to skip some of the build to make this video not like 45 minutes long. I'm gonna just finish up the arms and the backpack and get ready to get the decals on. So this is my first round of clear coating. I did the hand and the beam rifle, part of the Wave Rider, and I'm going to try my hand at weathering. I will say that I have no experience weathering anything. I watched some YouTube videos to kind of get an idea of where to start, but all in all, I just kind of spitballed it. I will say I did not care for the final product that came out. I think I used the wrong type of sponge. This was a cheap makeup sponge that I used, like a piece that I tore off of, and used like the edge of it that was jagged, thinking I would get a good look. I think next time I need to use one of those like actual dish sponges that has that's just less dense, because this was basically like a weird paintbrush. It was basically a foam brush, even though the edges were jagged. And because it's a makeup brush, it really absorbed way too much paint, and it made my lines really fat and blotchy. But at the same time, I think you have to start from somewhere. You have to try things and fail at them. Just like I said in the beginning of this video, I might completely mess it up. In my eyes, I kind of did, as far as the finished product aesthetically. But you have to start from somewhere, and I'm not mad at it or angry at myself that it came out the way that it did. I know that if I didn't do this kit in the way that I did it, the kit that I do 10, 15, 20 Gunpla from now won't look the way that it looks, because I wouldn't have done this. So I had to learn the hard way. That's how I learned best, and I think it came out okay for the most part. But as for weathering, I have a long road to go to master it. It really is an art. It's not just slapping some paint on in random areas. You can do that in certain times and situations, but here, for this entire Gunpla, to weather it well, I feel like I was a little bit over my head, but I did have the hopes and dreams to make it cool. I also skipped ahead because I didn't want to show you guys too much of the failure. I don't want you to pick up on bad habits. I have a lot to learn. But as you can see, overall, I think it came out kind of okay.
The overall look, I like the action stand. I'm going to be using more of those, but the overall look I think came out okay. I ended up using some Citadel shade to kind of reduce the intensity of the contrast of the white armor, because it looked really strange to have all those beat up chips that I tried to make, but at the same time had like pristine clean armor. So that wash did kind of make it almost a bone color. I wiped it off before it dried, and it kind of left this kind of dirty residue on it, as you see there on the leg. But I can't emphasize enough how important it is to try things you're not comfortable with, to keep pushing the envelope, to just try to do things outside of your comfort zone, because you might fail one or two kits, but in the end, that one kit that you do years from now, it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be because you tried and failed. But overall, thank you guys so very much for watching. It's a pleasure to share my experience with you guys. Again, I'm not doing this for clout or fame or clicks or subs. It's just my hobby, and I want to share it with you. As you can see, my progression. I love my motorcycles, and I got into Gunpla, and now I have this real grade Zeta Gundam that I tried my best, and I'm learning something new, and it gets to be adorned on my shelf. I am going to be making some new shelving soon. Excited for that. But until the next time, I thank you guys so very much for watching. Thanks for being here, and I hope to see you again really soon.